I was like, bro, how much your house calls hit for? So he was like, yeah, I pull up to your crib. It's going to be 300. 300? What the f?
Bro, I went to the barber yesterday just for a fade. Just a fade, bro, right? This should take at most 20 minutes. This looked me dead in the face and said
$60.
Bro, I gotta share this. Like, we gotta come together and like build a union or something, because this is crazy.
So the price of haircuts has been going up pretty significantly over the last couple of years, and I came to this realization as I was looking for video ideas on TikTok, and come to find out I am not the only person that feels this way. So today we're going to be looking at a couple of videos that I've found of some examples of, or people complaining about, just overpriced haircuts that barbers have been charging recently.
You'll probably see me with a haircut 4 times a year, because since the win was getting a haircut equivalent to paying your mortgage. Cause look though, I hit my barber up like last week, right? I was like, yo, I need a cut, man. Like I got like some interviews lined up. I need a cut. He was like, yeah, I'm not at the shop right now. I'm only doing house calls this week. So I was like, bro, how much your house calls hit for? Cause you feel me? You can pull up to the crib. We can watch TV while you cutting my. That's low key a vibe anyway, right? So he was like, yeah, I pull up to your crib. It's gonna be 300. 300? What the f?
$300 for a 30-minute haircut is kind of crazy. I understand that house calls require you to drive more, to and from the location. And naturally, yeah, you're going to charge for the miles in your car, the gas you spent, and possibly how many clients you could have missed out on. But unless this man is 2 hours away, I see no way $300 is reasonable. And apparently this dude's been using the same barber for, 13 years, something like that? And this man still had the gall to tell him $300.
Haircuts are $45 in the shop. What's your cost for a house call?
Minimum, I'm saying $150, just because I feel like I gotta bring in all my utensils, all my tools. I feel like $150 minimum. I think it's a good price.
Paying for the convenience.
Yeah, exactly.
I personally don't like doing house calls. It's an inconvenience to me almost.
Yeah.
I'd probably say like close to 100.
So I'm gonna give you 2 different prices. Distance definitely factors in. So if it's pretty far, 175 to 200. Now I just had a baby and I'm a family man. So you're taking away time from my family. So I would say now, if you ask for a house call from me, it would be a minimum of $250.
Okay, yeah. That last one's ridiculous. You're not spending time with your family when you go to work regardless, right? That's just part of having a job. Unless you're doing a house call outside of normal work hours, you can't text somebody because you're going to be farther away from your family. I don't know. That I don't understand that. I really don't. I feel like, what's the point of bringing that up if you're going to be at work anyways, right? If you, I don't know, unless like his kids work in the barbershop with him or his family's in the barbershop with him, I'm just not seeing the argument there. And the first guy also said that like it's a hassle to move his utensils. I'm really finding it hard to believe that moving barber equipment is like the hardest thing in the world. Now, I mean, I guess it kind of depends on what the client wants, but like I'm pretty sure that most of that stuff can fit into a backpack. Now, this comment here does give a pretty solid reason as to why house calls can get expensive. A barber could likely service 3 to 5 clients in the shop in the time it takes to do one house call. If you can't afford it, you go to a shop. And I think it's actually a pretty good way of looking at it. I think that possible missed clientele is a pretty solid reason to upcharge, especially if you're averaging 3 to 5 people an hour, right? Just charge them the rate of 3 to 5 people and then add on whatever travel fees you think are reasonable to add on. So yeah, I guess around $100 to $150 would make sense. Some of the guys in this video weren't being too unreasonable, but I do think that taking time away from my family is really just not a good excuse.
Bro, I went to the barber yesterday just for a fade. Like, line it up and fade it. Nothing off the top. No beard, no eyebrows, no stash, no taper, nothing. Just a fade, bro, right? This should take at most 20 minutes. This looked me dead in the face and said
$60.
Do you cut LeBron's hair or something? Is there something I don't know about you, bro? I mean $60, dog. You charge about $140 an hour? Who are you? I travel to you, gang. You giving me a fade, dog. You giving me a fade. You're not doing nothing crazy. All you doing is giving me a fade and lining me up. You talking about $60, bro? I got up so quickly from that chair, I almost passed out.
Yeah, so unfortunately for something as simple as a fade, it can go up to $60 now. That's how much some people get paid like for a part-time shift for a day. And it's not like a week from now that haircut probably won't have grown back in. And now it's a good thing that this guy asked for the price up front, because like a lot of these barbershops don't tell you how much they charge. Either that or it's really hard to find like a sign on the wall or something. And then after the cut, they'll look you dead in the eye and charge you like $60. Now obviously you're not going to walk away without paying anything either, so you're stuck paying $60 for a $20 cut. A simple fade really can't take that much effort. We got a barber here saying, people complain about barber prices but go drop $300 to $500 at the club in a section for 3 hours. Who are people? Who are you talking about? Most people aren't going to a club and dropping $300 to $500 on a section, bro. What kind of people are you cutting hair for? People complaining are like the average working class, citizen, all right? I mean, I'll be damned if I ever drop more than $100 on a night at a club. I don't know, man. That's insane. $300 to $500?
2,000? Yeah, 2,000. Like pesos or some shit?
What's 2,000 pesos into USD?
Not US.
USD.
You talking about like American?
Yeah, American. 2,000.
This your second time cutting me, bro. What you mean?
It's house call.
Bro, house call, but I'm not giving you $2,000, bro.
It's 2,000.
Why are you charging just because you cut? Who the f you cut?
Everybody.
He ain't cut.
Everybody.
Think because he cut Lil Baby and shit like that, Avery B, this charged me $2,000. What the f? Bro, I'm not.
They pay it.
Bro, I'm gonna give it to you. I got you though.
Appreciate you, man.
I got you. I'm gonna send it to you.
It's a house call. Now give me your mortgage payment for the month. This dude apparently cut some rappers or whatever, and now he has the audacity to ask for $2,000 on a stream for a f***ing haircut. And then he throws around names and says, oh yeah, well they paid for it, as if that's supposed to matter. Maybe it's an ego thing to get this guy to fold, but you know, I guess it worked out because he ended up paying those $2,000. I understand that like cutting celebrities gets your name kind of up there, but at the same time, I mean, look at his cut. Like he lined him up and gave him a fade. Well, yeah, what exactly is he doing that was different? What about this service is luxury that warrants $2,000 of your own money to be spent? This comment says, barbers get a ring light and start acting different. That social media, I don't know. After COVID, everyone's a celebrity barber now.
Haircuts are so expensive. Barbers are taxing. Haircuts used to be $20. Yeah, haircuts didn't used to be a low drop mid taper fade with the fringe on the top. Trim a little bit off the top, not too much. Throw a freestyle on there, slip my eyebrow, light on my mustache. Y'all be wanting facials now too, bro. Used to walk in the shop, get up and walk right out. And don't get me wrong, you can still find a $20 barber. Just don't complain when you have a $20 haircut.
Yes, cuts used to be cheaper, but given the cost of living now and how much inflation has done its thing, it's understandable that prices would go up, but not to the extent that we've covered in some of the videos today. This guy claims that people are asking for these crazy cuts, but honestly, I don't think it's too different from what it's always been. I mean, at its core, most people want to clean up the sides and get some of the top trimmed down. And yeah, and if people are asking for facials and beard trim, sure, you know, add it onto the cost. The actual cut itself, I feel like should not be that much, especially if it'll take you maybe 30 minutes to get in and out. The truth is that $20 for a haircut is not going to pay anyone's bills. I understand that, but at a certain point though, like charging over $50 is kind of insane. This comment right here says a carton of eggs and some milk costs almost $20. Barbers can't even fill their tanks of gas for $20. Nobody can fill their tanks of gas for $20. That's, you know, we're all suffering here. This other comment says $40 isn't even that much though, for real. The creator liked both of those comments that I just read out. One of them is talking about how everything costs too much, and then now the other comment's talking about how much $40 really isn't too much. Like, pick a side, bro.
Bro, I gotta share this. Like, we gotta come together and like build a union or something, because this is crazy. I went on a cut app yesterday because I've been going to this new barber, trying to find a new barber, right? I looked at his prices. Man's is trying to charge $100 for a haircut, $50 for a shape up. You know what I knew was a problem? When Patrick Beverly was complaining about haircut prices. Patrick Beverly's in the NBA. If he's complaining, you know damn well I'm complaining.
So even NBA players are starting to have issues with haircut prices now. I can't even blame them. $50 for a 15-minute shape up is borderline criminal. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know who gave this person the confidence to charge this much for their haircuts. And mind you, this was back in 2022. I'm sure it's worse now. This comment says, then they want you to add an 18% tip. And yeah, tipping culture in the US is pretty prevalent. I think barbers and waiters are like some of the people who you're almost always expected to tip.
One of my clients, I went up on prices too much for him. And he said, hey, I'm just be real. I can't afford you anymore, so I have to find a new barber. You have any recommendations? I recommended him multiple barbers in the city, and he has tried out like quite a few. And I told him, I'm just gonna let you know right now, they're not gonna clean up around your ears, they're not gonna clean up on your neck, and they're not gonna style your hair. And that's just a fact, and I'm just telling you that right now. And he actually came in today. He's been getting messed up at other barbers. And I told him that's why I charge what I charge, because I know I do more than every other barber, that 95% of barbers in the city, at a more efficient time and consistently.
So what I got from this video is that she does the bare minimum of cleaning up around the edges and styling the hair. I don't know who she sent her clients to, but if a barber isn't cleaning up around the edges, then they probably shouldn't be getting clients. You can't do the bare minimum and expect to be compensated more for it, right? That's like if I was an Uber driver and then I charged you more than everyone else because I didn't hit a curb or because I didn't pump my car full of cologne and now your car's sick. That was a very specific example. Anyways, like I said before, my main point of all this is that you shouldn't expect to get paid more if you're just doing what your job entails you to do.
Why are barbers charging $50 and up? Let's talk about it. Barbers today are charging $40, $50, and even $100 for a cut. Some of y'all still think that that's too much? First off, do you know how much time and money barbers spend on their craft? I mean, clippers, $300, shears, another $200, and education, thousands of dollars. And let's not forget, we build you confidence.
Any professional is going to have costs associated with developing themselves. And that doesn't make you special because your job gives people confidence. That makes no sense. People in other professions go to college, they spend countless hours and time and money, bettering themselves at their craft. I also understand that you have costs associated with barbering, like boots, equipment maintenance, buying equipment, but just like every other business model, it has expenses. You're not special. Everyone has to pay for stuff. And then his description says you'll spend $200 on sneakers, $500 on a console, but you hesitate when it's time to invest in yourself. Okay, sneakers are going to last you years. All right, if you take care of them, it'll last you years. Same with a console. All right, this $50 to $100 haircut in 2 weeks is not going to be there. Hell, in a week it's going to look like it's kind of grown in. You know what I mean? So God forbid a consumer wants to keep his costs low on something that really shouldn't cost that much. I want to take out monthly loans to get haircuts. Okay, that was a bit exaggerated, but my point still stands. People aren't wrong for wanting a cheaper haircut. And while you aren't wrong for, mentioning that there are costs associated with running the business, how is that any different from anybody else? Everyone's paying off loans. Everyone's developing themselves. What do you think? Are barbers getting too expensive, or am I just being sensitive and whiny? Go ahead and let me know. And with that being said, appreciate your time, and I will see you in the next video.